Hi everyone. Welcome to the mini video that I did say I was going to post about the Court of Public Opinion assignment. So, as you should have noted in the week 2 folder, there was the intro video, there's the readings, there's the lecture notes, and the discussion board. But at the very bottom was the Court of Public Opinion assignment sheet. So I did ask you to read through that as part of the homework, and as I said, I was going to post a short video going over that, and that is what this is. So when you click on it, I probably should do this as a student preview so you can see exactly how it's going to look for you, not just on my end. So apologies on that one. Your professors can do this, so if they say, I don't know what it looks like for you, just tell them to do the student preview. So when you click on it, it opens it up like this, and you can hit this to download and view it on your own screen, or by all means, you can do the full screen option, which is what I'm going to do here. So the Court of Public Opinion project. So week 2 emphasized the importance and the challenging, how important and challenging it is the general public's opinion can be within the criminal justice system, especially on those in the margins of society. And that's the reality. We understand that general opinions, thoughts, view, all those things play a part in the larger system. Whether that's fair or not is a completely different conversation. But we do understand that they do have an influence. And so this project, I want to challenge you. I want you to think about the ways in which we present information about criminals and victims. Okay? So think about the ways you've seen on the news and news stories about people who are arrested, who are convicted, things of that nature. You want a really good example of a modern day one. Look at any news coverage of Luigi Mangione, who has yet to be officially tried for his supposed crimes. But that's exactly what I'm talking about. The way the general public shapes and forms opinions on people regardless of anything else. And so I want you to do that. I want you to go through this process and think very specifically, very deeply about the way things are viewed, the way things are shown to other people and given. And I want you to play with it a little bit. So very specifically, to ensure no real cases are used and to hopefully have a little fun with this, I want you to choose a classic character, a fictional character, whatever, and create a social media / news campaign for your character. Okay? So when I say choose a classic or a fictional hero or villain, what I mean is I want fiction people. I want Little Red Riding Hood. I want Big Bad Wolf. I want the Wicked Witch of the West. I want Dorothy. I want Sora from Kingdom Hearts. I want Mickey Mouse. I want Donald Duck, Daffy Duck, Bugs Bunny. I don't care who the character is, but I want him to be fictional because I do not want you tarnishing a real person's name in any way, shape, or form. Okay? So very specifically, you're going to make a fictional campaign for the character. And there's a reason for this. Because the catch, if you choose a villain, I want you to focus your campaign on exonerating them of their crime. Basically, show them as a victim and not as guilty of their crime. And if you choose a hero, I want you to focus on a campaign that charges them with the crime and putting the blame on them. I do not condone victim blaming. I want to emphasize that. However, I encourage you to include the victims of the villain's crime in your campaign. I am leaving it to you to determine how you incorporate them. So I'm serious when I say this. This project, the Court of Public Opinion project, I want you to make a fake social media campaign, whether it be a poster, whether it be a brief PowerPoint. I don't care how you go about it, but I want you to either act as a defense lawyer for a villain and say, hey, I'm the PR person. Let me spin it in a positive way that the Wicked Witch of the West was not bad at all. In fact, she was doing more for the society of Oz than anyone else. Or I want you to take the hero and be like, let me tell you why the huntsman in Little Red Riding Hood was actually the absolute worst tyrannical person ever. He didn't help Little Red Riding Hood. He just brutally murdered an innocent wolf for fun. Do you see what I mean by this? Your topic is your choice. I don't care the character you pick, but I encourage you to reach out to me and ask questions, and I can try to provide what guidance I can. So the end goal is to have the class, your public, vote on whether we charge an individual with a crime or exonerate them for their crime. For the sake of argument, all characters chosen will be processed in a semi-realistic United States criminal justice system. The way the class votes on your character will not impact your grade for the assignment, but it's a good indicator of the quality of your project. I want to emphasize, I'm not saying that you have to make this beautiful defense. I want you to just think about how our public opinion matters. So whether or not your fellow classmates agree with you or not is not going to be the determining factor for your grade. I just want you to be able to come up with some creative, clever ideas and share it with your classmates. And I will try to provide some examples of previous student submissions so you can kind of get an idea of what they look like. So the final project will be a pseudo presentation. It's not a live presentation, but there will be a presentation. This means you will need a visual. I recommend more than one visual component and some way to record your audio. You can record yourself through PowerPoint or a screen recorder, or you can schedule a private Collaborate session through Blackboard with me, where I'll give you screen share permissions and we can actually record that session, and that can act as a video submission. If you have your own software, your own stuff, you can do that as well. I really want to encourage creativity. As far as the audio is concerned, I want to emphasize this. As long as I can hear you, that is what's important. If everyone else struggles with the audio, but I can hear you, that's the only one that matters because I'm the one that's grading you. If that means you record yourself talking into your cell phone or a computer, that's fine. Make sure you're getting close enough to the mic that it picks up your voice. If you really want to go full production mode, go for it. If you want to set up cameras and get people to dress up in costume as the characters and interview them like a old bad episode of Jerry Springer, by all means, be creative with this. But keep in mind, there is a purpose to this. So the project is worth 175 points total. The outline, I believe these due dates are actually wrong. Go with whatever is on the syllabus, not on here. But the outline is due by that Sunday. I will verify the dates. It's worth 25 points. The final project is due at the end of the class, worth 150 points. And below is the general rubric. For anyone who is going to be struggling or struggles throughout this semester to come up with a character, I will include a brief list of characters I think would be good for this project. The list will come after the rubric. By all means, if you want to spitball ideas, you want to talk to me about them, by all means, reach out to me. I'll be glad to help guide you in some direction. So, right here, this is the outline. This is the points that you earn. Did you clearly decide on a character? Did you give me an accurate depiction of who they are? Did you go over the major events of the character's story? And did you just determine whether this person was the hero or the villain of the story? And I mean in the original role, not the one that you are trying to argue. And then the final project will have, depiction, background, and major events. The visual is going to be important. The length presentation is at least 5 minutes in length without empty space or dead air. And you did moderate levels of research done into your character. Because that actually potentially has some impact. You also will need citation. You'll need narrative, which is the convincing narrative. The fact that, the person didn't do the crime or did do the crime. Your argument is logical and relatively free of grammar and punctuation. So here we go. As you can tell by the list of below, characters can come from any fictional work. I urge you to think about how they are depicted in their home series, movie, whatever, and how they could be portrayed differently. Also consider how you would defend them and your view on them. So I literally broke it down into list of potential villains and potential heroes. So in my villains, I said Maleficent from Sleeping Beauty, Ursula from The Little Mermaid, Jafar from Aladdin, Scar from The Lion King, Hades from Hercules. Are you noticing a pattern here? A lot of Disney villains are like traditional bad guys, so it works really well to take them and take the opposite stance. I also put, to just show, it can be from a video game. One of my favorite video games is Mass Effect, so the main villain from the first game, Saren Artorias, boom, that's an option. And then the Wicked Witch of the West, the Wizard of Oz. It makes perfect sense. But you want to take the stance that the heroes are actually not heroes but villains? Aladdin, the Wizard of Oz, Dorothy from The Wizard of Oz, King Triton from Little Mermaid, Bob Parr, a.k.a. Mr. Incredible from The Incredibles, Zeus, Ash Ketchum from Pokemon, Goku from Dragon Ball, Iron Man from Iron Man. Like, literally, you are not limited to the character. As long as they're fictional, you can do it. Okay? So that's it. That is the project. I want you to start working on it. I want you to start thinking about what character you want to do. I will be glad to go and talk specifically with any one of you over the specific details. But this is the point. The point is take a character and make a case for the opposite. Tell me why Aladdin is actually the villain of his series, not the hero. And vice versa. Take Ursula and tell me why she's not the villain of The Little Mermaid, but in fact, the unsung hero. That's the purpose of this project. Okay? Obviously, I want you to think about public perception, because that's what we're really talking about in Race, Crime, and Justice. Also, some of these characters are racially coded, which, hint, hint, might be part of the reason why they fit into some of these areas. That's just something to think about. But that's it. That's going over this assignment sheet. If you have questions, reach out to me. If not, I'll see you in the next video.